Let's talk about why everybody is hating on these epic figures. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. I wasn't planning on doing a video on these guys again, because in the last video we kind of went over them a little bit and gave you just a quick insight of what they look like. But man, I am seeing a lot of hate for these guys. These are the 1988 remastered Turtles, and I don't get it. I don't get what you guys want. I don't get what you're looking at. I won't name names, but there's been a lot of criticism over these $13 figures. Yes, $13 each. It's pretty rare that we see articulated, nicely sculpted figures for $13 with a lot of accessories nowadays, and you guys are out there complaining. So I really don't get it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of comparison. We're going to compare these actually to the original figures. As you know, the original figures had, almost said Hasbro. Ooh. Playmates is relaunching those slowly but surely. Those go for $10 a piece. They're the reproductions of the original vintage Turtles. So these are $3 more. So we're going to see, is the $3 upcharge from vintage to modern, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm going to give you my take on these. I think you already know what it is, but we'll see. Are these good or are these bad? All right, here we go. And I'll be honest with you, I'm usually on the other side of the spectrum when it comes to these types of things. When I don't feel like I'm getting enough value from a figure, I think it's overpriced and that sort of thing. I have complaints with articulation, that sort of thing. This is the complete opposite in this, not really a review, but this analysis. As I mentioned in the intro, I'm seeing a lot of hate for these 1988 remastered Turtles that are being found at Walmart for $12.99 is the going rate. And I'm stumped as to why people are hating on these. Guys, these are $13 figures. I said it in last video, if these were Hasbro products, these things would probably be $25 due to all the accessories you get, due to everything that's going into it. So real quick, let's use Raphael. I think Raphael is the best one. Let's use him as an example. We'll go over the articulation a little bit, just to kind of give you guys an idea. I know there's a lot of these kind of videos on YouTube, but we're just going to do it real fast. So they do have ball jointed necks, ball jointed heads, so that's fine. You can kind of see the joint there on the shoulder. That does that. Goes up and down. A little bit of elbow joint and some wrist rotation as well. 13 points of articulation on these guys, which is great. Of course, no waist. You can also see the hinge there on the hip. That moves just fine. A little bit in the knee. And what really seems to be pissing everybody off is the ankle. The ankle turns. Okay, $13. I don't think we're going to get a ball jointed ankle with tilt and forward and back for that. So articulation wise, you're paying $1 for every point of articulation, which I think is phenomenal. Very, very good. Another thing that's really throwing collectors off, throwing reviews off, is the texturing of the Turtles. Now I'm going to get in close here. We've got some pretty good focus. These are not as dimpled as what everybody thought they were when the first product shots came out a couple months ago. I actually like this texture, and it represents kind of scales to me. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. I don't really have a problem with it. And I'm not sure where the problem is. If this was a $25 figure, I could kind of understand the complaints. But, I mean, if you need an updated version of the vintage figure to get to modern, to go from 1988 to 2024, I don't know what you guys want. I think this is fantastic. I think Playmates knocked it out of the park. You know, we always want more. You know, we always want more when it comes to our collections and everything else. Not only do they give you this, they gave you a base of display with movable parts, air conditioners, ladders, chimneys, little antennas. So you're getting all this. As I mentioned in the last video, it was $55 with tax for all these guys. Michelangelo has got real chains on his nunchucks. There's a little pile of extra accessories back there as well. So, and I'm just kind of surprised on all the hate that these are getting. I think these are everything that we need and that we should be getting at a great price. A lot of people are comparing these to Origins, Motu Origins. These are better than Motu Origins to me. I mean, there's more articulation in this figure than a Motu Origins when you compare the two, and these are $8 less. So, yeah, I'm just not really understanding the hate on these guys. I think they're absolutely done. To me, the best value of the year and some of my favorite figures of the year. So with that, let's do some comparison on what $13 will also get you. All right, here's a few comparisons that are kind of close to the price range of these remastered turtles that I mentioned earlier. This, of course, is a vintage collection figure. This is the Fleet Commander. He's $17. His articulation is not worlds better than these turtles. He's much smaller, as you can see there. Look how much shorter he is. People don't seem to have a hard time paying $17 for this guy, yet we're complaining about $13 for a turtle. So this vintage collection in no way is a good deal. In no way is it a value. So he's out. The vintage collection is, to me, one of the worst lines out there due to the price, not due to really anything else. We've got Egon from Real Ghostbusters. This, of course, is the retro. This was $10. Actually, I'm sorry. This was $15 when he first came out a couple years ago. Straight repro. This is not updated articulation. This has nothing different about it than at all. It's just a straight repro from the vintage figure back in 1988. So we're also kind of, I think we're getting spoiled here. This has no articulation. Nothing's updated with this figure. It's just the vintage figure redone, put back out on the market and charged $15. Yet we have a problem with the $13 turtles. I don't get it. And then I mentioned Origin figures earlier. Here's an Origin figure that I actually stole from my son. And you'll notice the articulation is very similar. They do have ball jointed ankles. Okay, we'll give them that. But the knees bend about the same. The elbows bend about the same. These guys run about 20 a piece. They are slightly bigger, as you can see, than the turtles. But again, $8 or $7 more. So again, I think value-wise, these guys are knocking it out of the park. Let's go to the vintage turtles. We'll do a quick comparison and see how they look. All right, here's our vintage turtles, kind of side by side. Our new turtles are remastered. And man, to me, if there was anything to update this, I would want it to look the way these remastered figures do. I think it's a great adaptation. I think they did a great job. There is some complaints kind of on Leo's face there. He's got the double teeth thing going, as you can see there. And he only has the single teeth showing on one side on the vintage. So that was a complaint. There's a complaint the noses are too big. But again, I go back to my point of the whole video, which is these are $12.97. These guys right now, these are all, none of these are vintage. These are all the reissues that I've gotten over the last couple of years. These are 10. So we're looking at $3 more. What is the $3 getting us? Well, the $3 is getting us articulation. It's getting us a base, and it's getting an updated sculpt. So I'm having a hard time finding any real negatives or any real cons to these figures. Honestly, I think you guys are being way too hard on them. I think they're an excellent value. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I get that. But with these, I hope they actually keep doing more of these. These are absolutely done exceedingly well. And I applaud you, Playmates, for doing a good job and giving us something that's updated, that really resembles what we got back in the 80s. All right, there you go. There's my 2 cents. I mean, if you're on the fence, if you can find these, I think the hardest part of this entire thing is finding these damn things. I found my set last week. Got real lucky at a Walmart. One Walmart in my entire area, where there's about 6 or 7 Walmarts, had them in stock. So to me, if there's one negative about these, it's that. The rest, and I think you guys are way too hard on them. To me, again, I said it before, value of the year right here. I think they're the best, and they're on my list for figures of the year, honestly. So you guys let me know what you think. Good deal, bad deal. What say you? Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you next time.